Attention passengers, this is your conductor speaking. We are about to arrive at the hesitation station. Please mind your step as you enter the station.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Hesitation Station podcast. We are so happy that you guys are here and that you guys are taking time out of your day to actually listen to us because, we're just two guys that like talking to each other. I am Jay with my co-host Tank. How's it going, buddy?
Doing pretty good, man. Doing pretty good. How about you?
I'm good. How's your week been going?
Man, it's been driving me quackers.
Was that a pun? Okay,
Yeah,
got you.
I'm sorry. I'm feeling pretty funny today.
Well, you know why you're feeling a little quackers today?
Why am I feeling quackers, sir?
Because we have the voice actor of Donald Duck himself, Daniel Ross. Come on in.
Oh, snap.
This thing on? Oh, okay, it's on. Hi, how you doing?
Doing good. How are you?
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me on the show. Glad to be here.
We greatly appreciate it.
I heard you were feeling a little bit quackers, and I had to make my way in. I hacked into your computers and said, this is my opportunity to shine.
I was wondering why I was seeing ducks everywhere.
It's a big idea, huh?
But the funny thing is that we have a space animal on our legs tattooed, and I am a space cow, and Tank over here, yeah, he has a space duck on his leg.
Nice.
So we are kindred spirits.
Space.
So also, real quick, I want to congratulate you on your new role, Grimace. So
yes, I'm not representing. Hey, my eyes are up here.
I'm not representing at all wearing the new Grimace shirt. How was it? How was it to voice him?
Oh my gosh. So first and foremost, any of the characters that I grew up watching when I was a kid are like my bucket list items. And so when Grimace crossed my path, I was freaking out because I love the character so much. And interesting story. Last year, I did a Super Bowl commercial that was all over the place for McDonald's, and it was where they're at the menu going, "Can I get and everybody's going, and then there's a shot of Grimace going, and then there's these two sandwiches going, pick me, no, pick me." And I did the voice of Grimace as well as the sandwiches, and I was so excited. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't wait for this to come out. I get to announce this character to everybody. I bought the pop figure and everything, and the day of, it wasn't my voice. And I'm like, what's going on? What's going on? All over the press and media. Ryan Reynolds voices Grimace from McDonald's all over. And I'm like, what? But they still kept me as the sandwiches. So I was happy about that. But like, if you're going to lose a job, might as well be to Ryan Reynolds. So
Right.
They contacted me a year later and said, we want to bring Daniel back. And I was like, yes, please. And thank you. So karmically, it's come back. And I'm so happy about it.
Good. We're happy you got that new role. I was trying to figure out what it is because, if anybody follows Daniel on his TikTok, he gives little subtle hints. So I was trying to figure it out beforehand. And
I don't know that anybody would ever call me subtle in any way, shape, or form, but yes, I'll agree with that.
I will agree with you, though. If you're going to lose a job to somebody, losing it to Ryan Reynolds, I mean, can't really be too upset about that.
No, but at the time I was like, Ryan, don't you have enough? Don't you have enough, sir? But yeah, it's like a badge of honor at this point. And I kept the pop figure thinking I'll have him autograph it someday just for the irony. And so it was just great that it came around again. And you know, there are some differences in my version of Grimace than the original because
Mhm.
many people remember Lenny Weinrib or Frank Welker's version, which kind of sounded like Barney Rubble. You know, kind of like that. And mine is very deep. He only says a few things. But it's just, yeah, my mind is blown. I can't believe it. Love the character.
Oh, I'm very happy you got that role, and I'm very happy you love the role.
Yeah.
You fit it perfectly. It was great. So
Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
so let's talk a little bit about the one true Donald Duck.
Yeah, how about that?
So I remember following you on TikTok, and if you don't mind me saying, and if not, I can edit it out, or he can. That can, yeah, there it is. You know, Mama Duck was a big inspiration for you. She
Yeah.
taught you the voice. She was able because she was all over your TikTok, and she was great. So let's talk about that a little bit. Let's dive into that,
Of
and what
course.
inspired you to go out there and be like, this is what I want to be. This is what I want to do.
Well, Donald Duck was never the goal. I
Mhm.
moved to Los Angeles in 2014 with the intention to focus on voice acting, just to give it a try and go to that mystical land far away, Hollywood, where dreams come true or they're crushed. And, you know, I had started in. I love the performing arts, so I started in theater. I studied Shakespeare, musical theater, etc., and then I meandered into film and TV and was a professional extra for a very long time and did a lot of stand-in work. And then my buddy Justin Timpain and we decided to max out our credit cards and create a series of movies called Ninjas versus Zombies, Ninjas versus Vampires, and Ninjas versus Monsters, available on Amazon Prime, by the way. And yeah, so voiceover was just something I kind of always did as a parlor trick for friends, just to make people laugh. And I always thought it was a weakness of mine. It wasn't something I should lean into until I realized I was very wrong. And I had a lot of people encourage me. And so I came out here 2014 to give it a shot, gave myself 5 years. We're coming up on year 10. And so far, so good. So far,
So
so
far, so
good. But
good. Yep.
yeah, so Mama Duck, my mom, she taught me the voice when I was 3 years old, and that was our love language. No matter what was going on in our lives, and everybody has parents, and sometimes it's amazing, sometimes it's a little contentious. We could always quack it out, and that was something that was very special between the two of us. And so, you know, unfortunately, she passed away last year, and I won an Emmy for Mickey and Minnie Wish Upon a Christmas, which was the last thing that she and I sat and watched together. So it had so much meaning to me. And this character, just from the beginning of this journey all the way through, meant so much to the both of us.
Mhm.
And in my opinion, true Disney magic, you know, that a little schlub like me can come out to Hollywood and take a chance and then kind of stumble into something so incredibly amazing. I'm forever changed and forever grateful. Especially meeting the fans. Oh my gosh, everybody knows Donald Duck all over the world in different languages, and everyone has a family member who does the voice and makes them feel special or makes them feel happy. And I think that all connects us in some weird, strange way. So I'm happy to be a steward of such a joyful character for whatever time I have.
Absolutely. Um, Mr. Tank, did you want to say something? Because he said you were
Yes,
like
I
this when
did.
you said ninjas.
You know, it's funny because I've seen. I mean, it's been a couple years, but I saw Ninjas versus Zombies, and I didn't realize there
Yes.
was. I didn't realize that y'all had done Ninjas versus Vampires and Ninjas versus Monsters. So now I got two other movies I need to watch.
There you
But
go. There
I
you go.
saw Ninjas versus Zombies, and I loved it. You play Kyle, if I remember right.
That's
I
right.
love that movie.
A potty mouthed, gun wielding pizza delivery ninja. It's a mouthful.
See, Jay, that is
Yeah, I've
your
never
character.
seen it.
Pizza
I've,
delivery.
I've
That's
never
right.
seen it. I'm sorry.
It's all
Um,
good. There's time to change.
there's time.
Yes, there
There's
is.
time to
You
change.
can grow and become better after you watch that movie.
Exactly. And you know what? It was lo-fi, it was independent. You know, we filmed it in backyards, maxing out credit cards and such. But that was bred out of watching Clerks 3
Oh, I love
with me
Clerks.
and Justin
Yeah.
because I'm sorry, Clerks 2, because they said, let's buy the Quick Stop. And we looked at each other as struggling actors in the DC Baltimore area and said, we should buy the Quick Stop. We should make our own movie. We should chart our own path. And we high-fived and went into Blockbuster and looked for the movie that wasn't there. And we settled on Ninjas versus Zombies. And that's where it all started. And we just kept the ball rolling. Ninjas versus Vampires. We doubled the production value, cut the cost. Ninjas versus Monsters. We tripled the production value. And it just, it was such an amazing journey. And all of those people are still family to me. We created something so much fun, and it was just out of passion to do so. And yeah, those movies are a big part of my journey.
Great. I will go back, and I'm gonna blame you for something, Daniel. Okay, you made me cry. You made me cry.
Okay? Sweet salty tears. Give me. Go on.
I remember when Mama Duck passed, you got the Emmy and you put a TikTok up and you showed it, and you were crying, and then I was crying, and I'm like, Daniel, why did you do this to me? It was. Look, if I can feel that emotion behind a screen, like, man, I was so proud of you. And I know I can tell you this until I'm blue and on a live and on the comment section, but now that you're here, I was so proud of you for winning that Emmy, man. I really was.
Listen, I never thought that would ever be associated with my name. But it was Donald Duck's very first Emmy. Not many of the Disney characters have won an Emmy. So to honor him in his 89 years that he's existed, I've only been here for 43, but he's been here for 89 years, and to assist in honoring my favorite character through that was also something really special to me. And to be the person to do it with everything that it meant to me behind the scenes just amplified that. And I really appreciate that. Thank you. It was a hard time. It was a very difficult time. My mom was my creative inspiration. Every day I would come home from school, she would have something drawn, painted, she would sculpt, so many different things. And that's like a core memory of mine, coming home from school and smelling the fresh smell of ceramics, and so, a lot of my silliness, my aloofness comes from her. And so I owe her a lot. And to be able to honor her and her memory in that way, I will never forget that for the rest of my life. So thank you for following along on that journey and being a part of it and seeing it as it was happening, because I still can't believe it.
Absolutely. You're doing a fantastic job.
Thank you. Thank you. More encouragement now.
So let's talk about a random role you had that I actually didn't know until like maybe a year and a half after following you. Okay. I didn't realize that you were Lucky the Leprechaun.
Yes. Oh no, you're not after me Lucky Charms, are you? They're magically delicious.
Don't say that line too much, because you had to say it a lot on that little xylophone.
that TikTok blew up, and I'm like, what? Okay, sure.
Sure. I like likes.
It was fun. It was fun. Lucky Charms, again, hearkening back to my childhood, that was the cereal that my parents wouldn't let me have.
Oh, no.
So my dad's a doctor, and he's like, too much sugar and fake colors and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, but please, sir, I want some more. And so anytime I'd go visit my grandparents, they'd be like, sure, we'll go to the grocery store and get whatever you want. And I'd be like, Lucky Charms. That's what I want. Give me all the red 40. And so I would sit there and meticulously pick out all the marshmallows and mush them into a ball. And then I would luxuriate and eat that ball. And then, all the colors on my hands looked like I had murdered a unicorn. It was just brilliant. It was amazing. I love Lucky Charms. And my special story about Lucky in particular, I worked in retail for like 15 years of my life. That was my day job / night job. And when I moved to Los Angeles, I was working overnights at Target, managing the logistics process, one of the hardest jobs there is. And it gave me my days free. So I could audition, I could network, I could go do coffee, I could do stuff like that. And over time, I started booking work. I got an agent. I started booking voiceover work. And it got to a place where I said, I need to take the leap. I need to stop this so I can do what I was called here to do in my own mind. And so I quit my job. I worked from 10 p.m. till 8 a.m. almost every single day. And I said my goodbyes after working for Target for 10 years. And as I'm driving off the parking lot at 8 in the morning, my agent calls me and says, "You booked Lucky." And so I had to pull over my car and weep. But at the same time, I'm like, I got lucky. I got lucky. As soon as I took that leap, I got really lucky by voicing Lucky. And so, Lucky was such a great feather in my cap, and or I should say, a four-leaf clover in my cap. And I voiced him from 2015 to 2017, and it was just an absolute joy. Maybe I'll voice him again someday. I don't know.
Oh, well, I hope you do.
Me too. Me
Yes.
too. I'd like more money to buy more Lucky Charms.
Sure. Thank you. Got any questions?
Marshmallow somehow. Yeah, actually, yes. So going through all the stuff you've been in, Georgia Tammys are cool. You voiced Donald Duck. I noticed last year you got into MultiVersus. What is
Yes,
it? The Nickelodeon, and I mean, I see you do Gizmo and you do Stripe, but I got to be honest with you, man. My favorite one, you did a Shaggy variant, Uncle Shagworthy. How'd that go?
like Uncle Shagworthy at your service. So Uncle Shagworthy, that was the first role that I booked with MultiVersus, and I've always done a Shaggy impression, like Scoob. I think I saw a ghost, ghost, and so when they approached me with this, and I had the audition, they wanted a more stuffy British, rich guy. And I went back to watch the one episode of Scooby-Doo back in the 70s where Uncle Shagworthy made an appearance, and it was voiced by Casey Kasem, and he was just doing his Shaggy voice. So there was not much for me to pull on in terms of what the character should be. And so I really had a lot of creative liberty to say, let me add some Shaggy to this. The the little crack in the voice, so everything would start with that. And they wrote it that way with like in front of that. So I said, let me lean into Shaggy a little bit and add the stuffy British gentleman and, all of his riches and snobbiness, and add a little bit of Shaggy in there. And it worked and it clicked for me. And when I booked it, I was just like, oh, come on. Oh, come on. This is awesome. Scooby-Doo. Oh, one of my favorites of all time. So yeah, I got to play in MultiVersus with that. And he was my main. Uncle Shagworthy remains my main, and when it comes back in 2024, he probably will still be my main. But Gizmo and Stripe, oh my gosh, the Gremlins movies are some of my favorites of all time, and I've been doing impressions of Gizmo and Stripe forever, and all the Gremlins, Gizmo, caca, one of my favorites to do, and so. Yeah, we booked that, and it was such a wonderful experience because I really get a lot of satisfaction when I can jump into a pre-existing character and find ways to make it my own while staying true to the material that's already been present. So I went back and watched, both movies. I watched any of the video game iterations and like cutscenes that I could to try to mine for any information. And it was very limited. Gizmo does not do a lot of fighting in the movies outside of Rambo, where he gets the Rambo attire on. So what does he sound like when he's jumping and when he's dying and when he's, killing other characters? That was all just in the studio, in the moment, making it up and just having a blast. So, I love those guys.
Well, I mean, you can't go to work and hate it. If you go to work and love it, then, you're having a blast and you're getting paid for it. So,
and look, I've been in a position to just go to work and collect a paycheck for a lot of my life. And so that's where a lot of the zest for what I do these days comes from, because I am never going back to that. Yeah. This is what I want to do. I love what I do. And if I can do it for the rest of my life, then I will.
Good. Wait, no, all we need to do is get you down here for a Comic-Con because I have.
Yes.
Hey, you hear that, Mississippi Comic-Con? Mm-hmm. Anyway, so yeah.
SSIPPI, yeah.
You'd be surprised how many people can't spell that. But anyway, yeah, I got a pop figure of Donald Duck that I have saved personally for you. So when I meet you, I want you to sign it.
I hope too. And for anybody who's curious, if you want to see me at a local convention, it's not up to me. I will say yes to just about anything. You have to go on social media. You have to tag me, actor Daniel Ross. You have to tag the convention and tag my agents at Celebworks with an X at the end, Celebworks. Tag those 3 things and say, please bring Daniel Ross to my local convention. My agents then take that and send it to their buyers and say, see, people want to bring Daniel. You should bring Daniel. That's how it works. I didn't know that's how it works until I knew. So yeah, I would love to come to Mississippi Comic-Con, but you got to take to social media. We got to campaign for it.
I would. The redneck got to campaign for it.
You got to campaign for it. In between you're making of your moonshines and all that, and you know, Uncle Fathers and all that, you gotta campaign for it.
Speaking of agents, I do want to say I want to give a shout out to Kay, your agent.
Thank you, my assistant.
Yeah. Oh, your assistant. She was very nice. We went back and forth on emails to get you on here. She was awesome, and I mean, thank you.
I am so grateful, honestly, to have somebody helping me, because the one thing I never anticipated when doing this is, oh, you're going to get hundreds of emails, DMs, and messages every single day, and you have to do that all by yourself. And I said at a certain point, I can't do it. I want to respond to everybody, but I literally don't have the time, and I don't have the energy or the wherewithal. So to have somebody in my corner to help is just, oh, thank you, Kay.
It's a relief.
Yes.
Yeah. So, I'm sorry, Kay.
Good.
Go and ask any questions. I'm not. We're trying to work off the kinks that we've been to some other.
Yeah. Yeah. We've been to a few other cons.
Go on.
I mean, we've had other interviews and we've had cons and everything, and when one of us gets too excited about whatever we're working on at the time,
microphones get knocked over.
Well, not only that, but case in point, we had Zordon from Power Rangers on here a couple weeks ago.
Oh wow!
I am a huge fan of Power Rangers, and I kind of just steamrolled him during that whole interview.
One word.
Yeah, and I felt horrible.
Zordon's been steamrolled.
Hey, that was
so I'm trying to refrain, that way he can ask his questions as well.
Cause see, I'm the Daniel Ross guy, okay? I'm the one that follows you on TikTok for like 2.5 years.
Come on, Tank, what's going on with that?
This guy, no. So I'm trying to be controlled excitement.
You said TikTok, right?
Uh-huh.
All right, I got you.
You can follow me across social media for any of your viewers at actor Daniel Ross. I've made it very simple. Across the board, actor Daniel Ross. That's where you can find me. Instagram, I'm pretty active. TikTok, obviously, I'm very active. The Twitters and Facebooks and such, yeah, sometimes.
We made a Twitter, but we do not get on it. I just made it just because.
I'm following you now.
Yes! My mission is accomplished. I can die happy. Sorry.
Hands down, this is probably my favorite episode
my leg.
now.
Yeah, this is my favorite episode. Like hands down right now.
I'm gonna die of laughter from this.
Dude, we're not even gonna be able to make it to the con. We're like, where did Tank and Jay go? Oh, they're dead from laughter. It's fine. So, okay, let me think.
No die, only laugh.
No, only laugh.
Only laugh, no die.
Now, what I want to know is, why have you not become the #1 Decepticon yet, Mr. Starscream?
That's a very excellent question. It's because Megatron and those stupid Autobots keep getting in my way. Could you bring me the Allspark, perhaps, and then we could do something about that, maybe?
You know what? I got you.
Got you.
Oh, man. You're tapping into my fandom.
Starscream, hands down, is my favorite Decepticon. I will pick him.
This is Cybertronian. That's my tattoo. I've got Cybertronian on me. It says transform. At least I hope it does. Yeah, massive collection. That is where my joy of voice acting actually came from, because Transformers, foundational for me. I watched the cartoon. I love the toys. And the very first movie I ever saw in a theater was The Transformers, the movie, 1986, because my birthday's August 4th. It came out August 6th. My dad took me to see it, and that's where my love of movies came from. And then later on, learning who voice actors were behind the characters. So yeah, Transformers I owe a lot to. And when I heard that they were making a movie back in like 2005-ish, the year was 2005. And I heard that they were doing that. I said, how do I put myself out there for this? How can I possibly be a part of Transformers, marry my craft and my hobby? And so I created a comic book called The Voice Within that featured myself in a story with the Transformers, and I sent that to Steven Spielberg and Michael Bay just in the hopes that I could get an audition. I was under no illusions that I would get a part. Just to get the audition meant the world to me, and I got it. And I was in a Toys R Us looking at Transformers the day that I got that call, and I was like, hey, I guess I'm buying these. Yeah, so Activision contacted me later and said, can you please audition for Starscream and a couple other characters? And I said, yeah, okay. Yes, please and thank you. And so Starscream, as we all know, was originally voiced by Chris Latta. Decepticons, retreat! Currently brilliantly voiced by Frank Tadaro, one of my good friends in the Transformers community, an amazing voice actor, the voice of Mugman on Cuphead. Where am I going with this? When I booked the job, I'm out of my mind excited, and they wanted me to do a voice that was going to scare little kids. That was their instruction. So I went with something a bit more breathy and demonic. And they said, yeah, that's what we want. So I rehearsed it. I was ready to go. And the day that I show up, they said, we just want a light British accent. Give us a light British
accent.
And I said, I'm sorry, you're telling me you want Starscream to sound like this? Yes, that's what we wanted. I said, no, please don't fire me, but no. And they said, what do you got? And I went, Decepticons, this is Starscream. And they said, great, let's go with that. And I said, okay, sure, all right. And in my mind, I'm like, please don't murder me, fans. Please, please, please. I know Chris Latta did an amazing job, and it's a very different version, but it's a different version. So let's go. And so, yeah, Starscream happened, and that really changed the trajectory of what I wanted to do as a performer. Because I started going to conventions and I started meeting other voice actors. And I very quickly realized these people are like me. They're quirky, they're strange, they're humble, they love what they do. They do all these crazy voices and they love it. And I just really dialed into that. And that really kind of influenced my decision to pivot from on-camera acting and film production to voiceover, where we are today. So I owe a lot to Transformers, as well as shelf space and dusting time.
Same. So let me ask you, did you ever get to work or meet Peter Cullen?
Yes, I met Peter at BotCon in Rhode Island. This was back in 2007. I was literally sitting next to him signing autographs, and I'm like, and David Kaye is to my left and he's to my right. And I couldn't believe that. I had met him years before at another convention event where it was like a paid meet and greet, and I got to shake his hand and take a picture with him. And it was just, I was so enamored with that experience because again, his performance as Optimus Prime, foundational to my youth and a lot of what I've done creatively. So it was such a great experience to meet him there, and then to be signing next to him and share in the joy of being in that position was just something I never anticipated in my life.
So initially you paid for the first one, and now
That's right.
You get to work with him.
Exactly. Now, when we went into the studio, everybody recorded their lines separately. So we didn't get a chance to interact with each other. And point of fact, most sessions these days, everybody does things by themselves. They have their own session. Sometimes we'll hear the other characters respond that we can respond to, or we're just making it up. What would it sound like if this person was responding to that person? That's part of my job as a voice actor, is to anticipate it and make it sound right. But yeah, so we don't get in the booth very often these days, and it's so sad. I love those opportunities.
Well, you hear that, everybody. Everybody gets starstruck. Okay.
Starscream.
Even voice actors get starstruck. Okay, so don't
That's
feel
right.
bad when you mess up, because I've messed up many a times going up to a celebrity. So yeah.
Yeah.
You
Like,
just have to remember to wear pants. That's rule number 1. Don't break that.
Thankfully, that's a rule he does not break.
I do not break that rule. I do not break that rule. That means I will go to jail. But I will.
Straight to jail.
No, I got a Monopoly card.
Oh, okay.
No, that's
okay.
the thing now is to pull out that Uno reverse card.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually got a friend of mine that is a vendor for Comic-Con. He actually got pulled over coming to the last one I went to, which was at Texas. He got pulled over. Yeah, he got pulled over, and he's like, "Hey, I clocked you at 85 or 95, something like that." Like, he was speeding. And he makes metallic cards. Like, for example, you can have a Yu-Gi-Oh card and it will be metal.
Nice.
So he has a reverse card metal, and he had it in his wallet. He pulls out the reverse card and his driver's license. The cop takes it, and he's like, I'll be right back, and just walks off with it. Just walks off. The cop comes back, and he's like, "Here you go, sir. Here's your written warning. You have a nice day. I'm keeping this," and walks off with the Uno card.
That's not how the Uno card works. Oh, it sounds like you didn't have much of a sense of humor.
Oh, no. I mean, look, I would take a warning any day beside a ticket. So
he's like, well, I was going to give you a warning, but now it's a ticket.
All right.
And I'm taking your Uno card. we do it big in Texas.
We're big in Texas. Everything's big in Texas.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead.
No, you go.
No, you go.
No, you go.
No, you.
No, me.
We're doing the Spider-Man thing.
We can do the Spider-Man thing all day. I'm down.
So, you did the voice for Starscream in the games and everything. Going off of big, how about that Diablo 4?
Ooh,
I have heard wonderful things about it. And then I know you were in Immortal as well. So how'd that come about?
So how did that come about? I auditioned for the roles and was lucky enough to be cast. Those types of games, I mean, Diablo 4, I would venture to guess almost everybody in this industry is in that game at one point or another. Just so many incredible people, and I had a great opportunity to do a really fun character for Diablo 4. And part of, I guess, the end game mechanism, the Tree of Whispers, and we had sessions going back, I think, as far as like 2021. So it's been going on for a while now, and even before that, they were laying down audio and working on the game, and I think it takes upwards of 5 years for a video game like that to be released. And so when I came in, to do voiceover, I was just grateful to be working, during the pandemic, when everything changed, and so it was a fun character and really unexpected too, because we did a bunch of different character voices because it's a tree of shrunken heads, basically. And I had done a wide array of voices for them to kind of pick what they wanted. And we ended up with the voice that we had for the disturbed head, which was kind of like this: Elias, that thief, and so it was really dark and scary and quite a contrast from a lot of the family friendly stuff that I do these days. And I love those opportunities to kind of just stretch and play, and villains are so much fun. Oh. Yeah, Tree of Whispers was awesome, and Diablo 4 is just a triumph of a video game. I say that, look, I'm a little biased, I'm in it, but objectively speaking, it's beautiful.
I've been wanting to play
and
it so bad.
People seem to really love it, so I'm just, again, grateful to be a part of it. Small little part, tiny little part of it.
Hey, but it's a part.
That's right. It is a part.
I mean, like I said, I've heard great things about it, but one of the things I seem to keep hearing, there was a streamer, I forget his name, but he finally, I think he was first, if not one of the first, that got his character to max level, and then out of nowhere, the server went down, and
Oh no!
he was playing it on, I think extreme, like when you die, your character's gone. So that was like 176 hours is what they said he put into it, and the server dropped and just lost everything.
No, that would make me go insane. You know,
Yeah.
I don't game a lot. I used to a long time ago, and it's kind of fallen out of favor. I prefer movies, TV. That's usually my escape. But I tried, I think it was in 2020, Red Dead Redemption 2, which I had a lot of friends on, and I was excited to give it a try. And I knew that you could play poker in the game, and I do love to play poker in real life. So I gave it a shot. I said, this is my New Year's resolution. I have to play more video games. I have to understand the product that I'm in so I can do my job better. And so I get into the game, and I immediately felt like my father playing Nintendo for the first time. Like, why has it got 2 buttons rather than 1 and a joystick? What's the big idea with this? This is too complicated. And I'm like, it's just Super Mario Brothers. Just jump, and then you throw, and then you move. No, that's too much. And so I jump into Red Dead Redemption, and it's all these different combos and trigger buttons and joysticks, and getting on the horse is one combo, getting off, and then riding, and then shooting bears and wolves. And I was constantly being mauled by bears and wolves. So I ended up like just veins popping out of my head. Like, I just want to play poker. I just want to play poker and not die all the time. I was so frustrated. I threw my controller and said, I'm done. Screw this.
You know what you should
But it
play?
was beautiful. I regret my decision, but I was not in a good headspace to do it.
That's fair. You know what you should play? You should play Elden Ring. See how far you
Ooh. You know what? You're not the first person to suggest that. I think I might need to give that a shot.
You think you got mad at Red Dead, buddy.
Oh, well, if you're encouraging me to get more angry, I'd like to keep the hair that I have. Thank you.
That's fair.
That reminds me of y'all remember Red versus Blue?
Yeah, the Halo.
Yeah, the Halo thing
Yeah.
by was it Rooster Teeth?
Yeah.
They had a character on there. His name was Caboose, and he Blue Team got a tank finally, and he hopped in there trying to figure out how to drive it. He's like, why are there 6 pedals if there are only 4 directions?
Yep, that's how he felt. He's like, "Wow."
Yep, that was me. That was how I felt. And so, no more. Thank you. My life is stressful anyway. I don't need more stress.
So you're a movie buff. You go to the movies a lot.
I love to.
Have
You know,
seen-
not as much as I used to. It's gotten expensive, and I really have to carve out time during my day. And there's more previews than there ever has been before. There's like 30 minutes of previews anytime I go see a movie. So, and I'm from the East Coast, so I'm like, I gotta be there on time, and it's like I don't have time anymore for this. But I go for the big budget stuff. I saw Across the Spider-Verse recently. I saw The Flash. I'm going to see Indiana Jones next week. So when the big stuff comes out, the pop culture stuff, I'm right on it.
Okay. We're gonna have somebody on here at some point in time named Cinema Mondays, and she is a big movie buff. And
Okay.
I was like, hey, come on, I like movies.
Does she have a sister, Nutmeg Tuesday? Because I'm single. Like, hey, let's work something out.
I think her sister is Whiskey Wednesday.
That's not a spice, sir, although it is spicy. I see what you did there.
Denise, I'm so sorry. I was just trying to
You
talk
see what
about
you've done?
Basil Thursday. That's a twin brother.
No. It's Frisky Friday as your cousin.
Okay, Daniel, Tank, I think y'all guys get along a little too well. I think, you know what? That's your new co-host, Tank. I'm out. See you.
Hey, I'm cool
There
with
you
that,
go.
man. I get to have Donald Duck and a ballin' friend. I'm down.
What am I?
You're another ballin' friend, but you're not Donald Duck.
I can do Hold on. No, that's not it. I can't.
What's your big idea, huh?
I can't do that. I can do Optimus. Can I try Optimus? Let's see.
Sure.
Okay. I am Optimus Prime, and this is for all the Autobots. Transform and roll out. That's all I got.
Yeah.
Wait,
Well
wait.
done, sir.
Wait.
Thank
Well
you, thank
done.
you.
All right, ready?
You really used your diaphragm on that one. That was
Oh
impressive.
yeah, total diaphragm. Let me tell you, it's not electronic or anything.
No. There's no button over here for me to hit. And
No, of course
awesome
No.
noises.
So, do you got any anything coming up on the horizon that we need to know about, or that you can share?
not. Let's see.
Yeah, is there anything the Mouse Overlord will let you share?
Well,
Yeah,
I'm an
cut that
independent
out.
contractor, so I work for lots of people, but I would say the only thing I can talk about openly is a video game of the movie called Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Oh, they're making a
That's
video
coming.
game.
That's
Really?
coming, and I do have a role in that. I've been told that I can say I'm in it, but I can't specify. So all I can tell you is Killer Clowns from Outer Space traumatized me as a child.
I love that movie.
Yeah, my sister taped me to a chair and made me watch it when my parents were out on a date, and
Oh.
so they were very happy to pay those therapy bills afterwards. And so to again come full circle to have something that absolutely terrified me as a kid to now be a part of it, that's really cool. That's really cool. So yeah, Killer Clowns from Outer Space, the video game, I think is coming next year. Obviously, MultiVersus will be back. And what else can I tell you? I've got some con appearances. I'll be in Contropolis in Secaucus, New Jersey, July 8th and 9th. And then I'll have an appearance at in August, I believe the 25th through the 27th at Colorado Springs Comic-Con. And then I will also be in Rhode Island in November. I don't have the exact dates yet, but those are the 3 cons I have coming up. Nice video game. Obviously, Diablo 4 just came out. Please check that out. If you go to McDonald's, you can check out the Grimace Birthday Shake, which is very tasty. Yeah, that's pretty much all I can talk about.
Well, if you don't know your dates for the November con, you should tell the people, and you should tell the people your socials. That way, they will know the dates. Just in case.
Yes, as soon as I know the dates, they will know the dates. That's usually
Right.
how it works. Because I never want to promise something and then be like, "Oops, sorry, my bad." Because people go out of their way to come to these events and they pay their money to, pay the entrance fee, and so I want to make sure it is on point.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
I get what you're laying down.
You get what I'm laying down here? Yeah. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention on Mickey Mouse Funhouse, I play a character named Zoop Loop. He's a gelatinous blob like dog from Mars, and he's adorable.
Mickey has a lot of weird pets.
I play lots of interesting characters. What can I say?
Hey, that's okay. I think I got one last thing because I know we're at the 45-minute mark. So I got one last thing to ask you.
Yes, before I turn into a pumpkin.
Right. 2 things, actually. I'm sorry. Number 1, will you follow us, the Hesitation Station?
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
I'm down.
Okay. And number 2, do you think you can give us a shout out?
Should I knock on the door first, or should I just creep in the trees? How should I follow?
Creep in the trees.
So
Okay.
creep in the trees first, and then slowly climb through the window. But be
Got
sure
it.
to bring pizza. That's
Yeah,
how you.
we're right on the
keep
same wavelength. Well, I
Okay.
wouldn't bring the pizza. I would just eat it. When you have it laying on the counter, I would just sneak in and eat it and then disappear. And then you'd be questioning each other, like, "Did you eat the pizza? Did you eat it? No, I didn't eat it." And then you'd fight, and I'd be in the tree laughing, like,
That would be us.
that would be my approach.
Look, we're fat
Marinara,
guys.
cheese sauce, is dripping.
We're fat guys, man. That does sound like us. But the second question is would you do the Donald Duck voice and tell all the people to come follow us as well?
Would you be able to?
Would you be?
I can say
or
that in
just-
my own voice.
Yeah, or just give us a shout out in
Well,
general.
yeah, that's fine.
I would be happy to. Hey, everybody, it's me, Daniel Ross. You may know me as one of the voices of
Daniel Duck.
Lucky the Leprechaun, Starscream from Transformers, Gizmo from MultiVersus, and I think you should follow the Hesitation Station podcast. It's really cool. Give it a shot.
Sweet. Awesome.
This
I'm
is
going to
wonderful.
use that, and I'm going to promote that. That's going to be
Do
awesome.
it! Do
can't
it!
wait.
Make it so!
Do you
Make
do
it
you
so
want-
number 1, and I will go make a number 2.
do you okay, focus. Do you want me to tag you in those promotions?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay, because I don't see. We've had Zordon, we've had Obito from Naruto on here.
Nice.
Which his name is Michael Yurchek. He's awesome. We've had a bunch of people on here, and I want to tag people like yourself, but I'm afraid I'll get on their nerves. So I tried to tag them at
No,
most 2
tag
times.
away.
He
Tag
said,
away.
"Tag away."
I
Okay,
tell
I'm
him
gonna
that,
hold
but
you
he
to
never
that.
listens.
If you tag me on Instagram, then I can repost, or
Oh, okay.
Twitter, I can retweet, and stuff like that. It makes it very easy for me to be able to go, oh yeah, quick little support there. So yeah, by all means, tag away.
Okay. Well, I think we're good. Unless Tank, you got any more questions?
Man, I'm good. This has been the
It's
most
been awesome.
excellent episode we've had, I think.
We shall not be topped.
We should nothing can top it.
No, not at all.
I want you guys to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all that stuff. Make sure you follow this guy, Mr. Daniel Ross, right down here. I know, yeah, there, and he's awesome. I've followed him for many years. He is very awesome, great voice actor, and he's really cool. If you watch this, you obviously see that he's really cool. So,
thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it. Great chatting with you. And yeah, if anybody wants to follow me, actor Daniel Ross across social media. I've made it very easy for you. I hope to see you at a convention sometime soon, and hopefully be on the TV in your home and make you laugh a little.
There you go. All right.
We appreciate you coming in, and we thoroughly enjoyed this episode.
My pleasure. I'll see you later, guys. Mwah!
Attention passengers, this is your conductor speaking. We are departing the hesitation station. Please stand clear of the closing doors.